What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. And as you guys can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Recoome from Dragon Ball Z. And this is one that I've been waiting on ever since he went up for pre-order on Premium Bandai. Now, if you're wondering, I did get the import version. I got it from Japan. That's why I got it early. So all of you people who ordered from Premium Bandai, just keep waiting on him. But this is my favorite member of the Ginyu Force by far. And of course, I'll explain my reasons probably sometime in the review. But let's go ahead and take a look at the sexy packaging so we can bust this figure out and have a whole lot of fun with it like I'm expecting to do. Now, the first thing I want to say is that this box is huge. And I mean, I'm not surprised. Recoome is a big dude. So just to show you guys a size comparison, here it is next to the Jace box, which I haven't opened Jace yet. You guys will see him in some pictures at the end. I don't know why, I just haven't gotten to this figure. I've been busy with other stuff. But anyway, his box is huge. Now, one thing that's worrying me is I see that the arm is already detached, but I have high hopes that it's just something I can pop back on. I'm probably going to apply some shock oil just to make sure I don't have any issues. But anyway, onto the box. You do have the window packaging right there. You have a brownish color, almost like Recoome's skin tone in the back. It says SH Figuarts Recoome. You can see some of the accessories. You got Recoome right here when he's posing. Dragon Ball Z at the bottom. Tamashii Nations, Bandai, warning label, Toei sticker. Got an image of him smirking right there. Several images of him on the side, if I can talk. He's holding a 3-star Dragon Ball. You got the frog that is actually Captain Ginyu. You've got him posing right here again. It says Recoome. Nothing on this side. Then, of course, on the back, you do have a bunch of poses you can get the guy into. This right here should let you guys know that I did get this from Japan. So I can't read a whole lot of stuff on here. But I'm super excited for this figure. Hence why I'm talking so fast. I'm just like, let's bust this guy out. Now, straight out of the packaging, I'm sure I don't even have to tell you this. This guy is thick. And you guys should have already expected that because of what we got with Captain Ginyu. It seems like Tamashii Nations is really, at least seemingly, trying to get better with the scaling of these figures. And I can't do anything but be satisfied with that because there was an interview that came out a long time ago where they said that they were afraid to dive into big figures in the Dragon Ball line, and it just goes to show how far things have come. Now I feel like they're getting more comfortable with their releases, and they realize that, hey, if you guys release it, we're gonna buy it. And that's exactly why they're dropping Cooler, who I'm so stoked for, but that's not what this review is about. This Recoome looks so good, and I know y'all are like, man, why are you fanning over Recoome? Look, I don't care what anyone says, man. Recoome is the one who did the most work out of the entire Ginyu Force because this dude beat up Gohan, beat up Vegeta, beat up Krillin, and it wasn't just like a regular fight. This dude came in and was doing all kind of WWE moves. I'm talking Swanton bombs, figure 4 leg locks, stone cold stunners, pile drivers. This dude was just a beast, and this figure captures it. Ginyu, I mean, he did some stuff, but he kind of came in, got wrecked, and was like, yo, I just want to take your body. But anyway, this guy, I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but this guy looks so good. Paint and sculpt work on this guy is just there. It's there. I honestly feel like the only thing they could have done to make this look a little bit more appealing to the eye, maybe some shadows to it, maybe some wash around the armor a little bit, because it is very bland, but this is something that we're already used to with the Dragon Ball figures. Maybe some shading in the hair would have been pretty cool too, but I don't know, it seems like that's something they're never going to do. I still don't even understand why they don't draw our color in the line work on the armor. I've never understood that. But overall, man, this guy just looks really solid, and he feels good too. I didn't check to see where he was manufactured, but I know they've been manufacturing some of their figures in Vietnam, and so the plastic feels a little bit different. This guy, obviously, since he's more plastic, he's not going to feel like your typical Dragon Ball figure, but this guy just looks and feels Nice. I love this. And also the issue that I had with the arm being off in the package, it's fine. I got it on here and it's no worry. As you guys can see, I'm swiveling it and it doesn't have the Bardock issue where the joints are tight and I'm afraid to pose it. Like, as you guys can see, I'm having no issues with this. So I don't have any complaints about this. Some wash to the figure would have definitely made it pop a little bit more, but overall, man, the face sculpt looks great. As you guys can see, they colored in the smirk, and so you can see the mouth on it. I don't know. I really, really like this, and it might just be because I'm a fan of the character. I'm trying not to be biased, but I think they did a great job. Now, for the height of this guy, to the top of his head, as you guys can see, he is a little bit over 7 inches tall, and to the top of his hair, he's a little bit over 7.5. So this guy is pretty freaking tall, which he's supposed to be. And I've heard that Birder is going to be taller than him, which is of course accurate. So I'm really happy they are diving into these taller figures, and I cannot wait to see how this guy scales with some of the other Dragon Ball figures that I'll be showing later on in the video. Now, articulation wise, he looks up, let's see. You get a gap in the neck if you do it too much. So without using that crazy gap, he looks up about that much, which is fine because with the way that they have the eyes, I mean, it automatically looks like he's looking upward anyway. I do wish he could look up a little bit further, but I mean, that's cool. He looks down very freaking well, which, I mean, that was necessary with how tall this dude is. He can literally look at Kid Gohan, no problem. So that's great. Now, the head is actually on, I don't know what you want to call this. It's the same thing they use for Jiren and Captain Ginyu. I don't really care for it at all, but I mean, it seems to get the job done. The only problem is that sometimes these can be very loose and they will come off. So I don't really like that, but I mean, still, it works. It does what it needs to do. And once again, back to the head, as you guys can see, you get a ton of tilt, no problem. This guy can be very expressive, but that neck is what you really have to watch, simply because if you're taking photos of this guy and that neck piece is out, that just looks pretty bad. So be aware of that. Now, as far as the shoulders, of course, they have these on a hinge and you can actually just wiggle these right out, which makes sense just because of the fact that he's always doing these crazy dynamic poses where his arms go high and low and all that stuff. And so actually I'm going to pop these off real quick just to show you guys the arm movement on this guy is super duper fluid. He can lift his arms all the way up. You do have really, really great butterfly joints. Now, it looks silly from this angle, but when you're posing him from the front, if you want this guy to throw a punch, then he can definitely do it. If you want to do him flying, this guy can do it. That, oh man, I love that. I really do. This just makes me happy. When we get new Dragon Ball stuff that isn't Goku and Vegeta, expect this from me. But he does have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. But I mean, this guy got some muscle, so obviously you're not going to be able to bring him in too much, but I think that's enough. Now, the hands, of course, as usual, are on a huge ball peg, which is cool. That's fine, because you can move them around however you want. Diaphragm joint, exceptional. I love it. And that was to be expected. I should just take these all off. But one issue I have with these, I will say, is right around the waist. These do come off very, very easily, but once again, it's because they would much rather these pop off than break. But anyway, he crunches back or leans back about that much. So Recoome Bomber is not going to be a problem. He crunches forward about that much. And you're actually getting some out of the waist as well. Some of the movement right around here is at the waist. He can turn, as you guys can see. No problem. You also do get wiggle right there. So that diaphragm joint is really good. And I'm going to take these off as well, just so I want you guys to be able to see everything. But of course, these are also on the hinge. Now, as far as kicking, he kicks forward that much. He can totally give Vegeta the boot. Kicks back all the way. He can do a split about that much. He does have a built-in thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, no problem. A swivel right here at the boot would have been dope, but I understand why they couldn't do that. Foot goes down about that much. Up let's see, about that much, but you do have to kind of tuck it under this piece right here. A little bit of ankle articulation. I really wish they would improve on that, but I still think you'll be able to get the feet flat. And of course, he does have a toe hinge as well. So articulation wise on this guy, it's pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing with figures that come on like these armored bodies. But I mean, it's definitely very, very well executed. Now, one small little detail that I want to throw in there, just because I noticed this when I was putting the armor pads back on, these are very specific to location. So where it's supposed to go on the body, you will know because the hinges are different sizes on these. Also, they do have right and left on them. But if you forget to look at that 90% of the time like I do, if you try to plug this piece into the wrong side, it's not going to go because, as you guys can see, that fit right in there. But if you take this one, which is supposed to go on the opposite side, that's not going to plug in there because the hinge is actually smaller. And also, it just looks weird. So, yeah. And that also goes for these as well. So, if you're worried about that, Bandai had you covered. When it comes to the accessories on this guy, I have to say, for the price point, they did not short you. And that's one thing that I'm happy about. When it comes to hands, you do get these two karate chop hands. Once again, the holes in those are huge, but that's cool. You do get his signature hands for when he's doing that crazy pose he does. I don't know. It's the one that he does every time the Ginyu Force like links up or whatever, and they all do their poses. You do get a hand for holding the 3-star Dragon Ball, and then also you get a pair of blasting hands. So a ton of those for him. You do get the 3-star Dragon Ball, of course, which I just mentioned, and this looks good. It's pretty big, but obviously that's because they were a bigger size on Planet Namek, because Porunga was said to have more wish granting capabilities than Shinron. I almost said the wrong name. But yeah, you do get these two expressions, and these are the exact same face. He's just looking in two different directions. This one was necessary because Recoome is usually posed to the left, meaning that he's looking off to the right, and so, or right, and then he's looking off to the left, one of the two, I don't know. But it's usually always looking this way because he's on this side of the Ginyu Force. And so this, I feel like, is accurate. I don't really think we needed this one, but I mean, I don't know what else they could have thrown in. So I'm still happy that they gave it to us. I would say a serious face, but I mean, when was Recoome ever serious? And then of course, this one, which is not the same as these actually, the mouth is a little bit more open. This is for when he's charging up, getting ready for that Recoome bomber, eraser gun, whatever it is he's about to do. And so I'm very glad that they gave us this as well. We do get the frog for Ginyu, and this is very nicely painted. Like, it looks exactly like the little frog from Namek. They did not slouch on this one, and I'm very happy. As you guys can see, it's white underneath there. And so, also, you could use this for Bulma, but I think that was filler. I don't think that was something that was canonical, but whatever. And then lastly, you do get the frog face for Ginyu, and I don't know. This is... I don't care for this, but it's still just the fact that they gave it to us. It's like, hey, thank you for the extra accessories. This is just one of those ways that you can have endless options with your Dragon Ball figures. I love this type of stuff, so I'll take it. Now, starting off with some size comparisons, here he is standing next to the two members of the Ginyu Force. I literally just got Jace out of the plastic, and now I'm noticing by looking on screen, the plastic is still right there on the waist. I haven't even taken this guy out. But this figure, I actually like it more than I thought I was going to. This thing is looking dope. But anyway, these three side by side by side. Oh my gosh. This makes me so happy, guys. Like, this makes me super freaking happy. I love this. I love this a whole lot. I really do. Next up, here he is standing next to a couple of Saiyans. We do have the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, the SH Figuarts 2.0 Scouter Vegeta, and of course the SH Figuarts Nappa. And I also feel like this is really, really good. I do think Nappa should have been a little bit bigger, but I think this was when they were first starting to dip their feet in the water of making bigger, bulkier figures. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt and say that I still really think these look good together. Here he is standing next to the Dragon Star's first form Frieza, and oh my god, I can't wait for the SH Figuarts. That's really going to top this off. The SH Figuarts Bardock, and of course the SH Figuarts final form Frieza. This is the 2.0 version for you wondering, and man, I feel like these look good together. Obviously the Dragon Stars is a little too big, but you could definitely make it work for now. And lastly, for some extras, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Amazing Spider-Man, the Mortal Kombat McFarlane Toys Raiden, and of course a custom Mezco Batman. So for my final thoughts on this guy, I just have to say I like the figure. That's literally my final thoughts on this guy. If you guys couldn't tell throughout the entirety of this video that I love this figure, then you had to have skipped all the way to the end just to see my initial reaction, because man, this thing is dope. I really do love this. And I said the same thing about Captain Ginyu. I'm mad at myself for not opening Jace, because I took a bunch of shots with this guy, Jace, and Captain Ginyu, and I was like, yo, Jace is really sick as well. But man, this is dope. This is the type of stuff that I love from Tamashii Nations, when they give us good quality work. And I know there are some people who watch reviews specifically to find out what the negatives of a figure are. If you want me to say a negative, I'll say, hey, I wish he would have came with some kind of key blast. But at the same time, Recoome was a brawler. He didn't really use a whole lot of key blasts. I think the eraser gun was the only technique that he used. Other than that, he was just beating the crap out of everybody. And then he was about to use the Recoome bomber, and Goku knocked him out before he got the chance. So I can't really fault them for not including a key blast. Now, another thing I know some people would like to complain about, the shoulder pieces or the lower pieces right around here falling off. I can't complain about that, because Recoome is a character who, look at this, is supposed to be in crazy dynamic poses. That's what he does. And so if these are hinged on and you pose this guy the wrong way, not taking into consideration that you might be stretching this plastic, these are going to break. Now, would you rather they fall off, or would you rather they break? Obviously, we all have the same answer for that. So that's not something I can complain about. When they fall off, I take it with a grain of salt. I pose the figure and then I put it on, and it's as simple as that. So I really don't have anything to complain about with this guy. Yes, they could have added a little bit of shading, but with as much plastic as this figure is, I understand why they didn't. Sometimes to make bigger figures, there has to be a sacrifice. And so obviously the sculpt, the detail, the accessories, all of that is there on this guy. And so maybe they had to kind of slack on the paint, which I completely am fine with. This guy is just fun. I'm sorry for the people who wanted to hear me complain. If that's what it is, nah, I love this guy. I have had so much fun with him. I cannot wait for Cooler. I cannot wait for First Form Frieza. I'm just, what they're doing with the Dragon Ball line is exactly what's bringing me back right now. They're going a little heavy on the Gokus this year, but at the same time, we're getting more stuff. So I can't complain. But overall, guys, this is a great figure. I really hope that you enjoyed this review. I hope you can tell how much fun I had. I'm sorry if it was overbearing, but I had fun. I really did. But yeah, please give this video a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Peace.